Woo, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. If I shut up long enough, you might hear the birds, man. So it's evening time and you can see the night sky rolling in. It's actually not bad. It's not bad here in New England right now. And this is March. This is early March too, like maybe March 10th, somewhere in there. March 15th. I don't even know. I can't even see that. But here's the deal. I got a package today from Mr. James Blaylock. James is a great dude, complete brother of the blade. And he sent me a couple blades. He said one, he wanted really sharp, he's not really sharp, but really sharpened. He wanted it really just to sharpen. And I believe this blade comes from True Katana. And you can see this blade is a lot rougher than I thought it was going to be. But he just wants an edge on it. And who knows, I might try and pretty up this steel because it's pretty rough. I didn't realize it was going to be in this condition, but to see what I can see, what I can tell you is if it's prettied up and nice and sharp, this is kind of a cool blade. This is kind of a really cool blade, as a matter of fact. Just big and heavy and clunky. I don't like the way the sheath fits at the top, but it's still kind of cool. So that one's the easier of the two. The harder of the two is going to be this guy right here. It's a wall hanger, and first things first, yeah, there isn't a single part of this that's tight, right, or in good sight. So basically, look at this. This is just, it's ripped steel. I don't know what happened to this brass. You can see it's bent and it's broken. It seems like there should have been something else on there that's just no longer. It's pretty rough, and this is like a felt, right? But it's completely torn and crappy. The problem is it's glued on there really well, and now I have to try and figure out what can I do with it, right? It does have like a stitching on the rear holding it together, and I don't do any of that. So I'm going to have to try and disassemble this scabbard. And if I can, I can. If I can't, I can. I'll send it back to him with the scabbard as is if I can't do it. I don't know what kind of wall hanger this is because it doesn't even fit a hand, like a human hand. But it is definitely a wall hanger because it's completely unsharpened. This is one of those just straight up unsharpened wall hangers, and it looks like it used to have some decoration on it. It's just old, sitting around. I think his daughter wanted it, and so he said yeah, and he's gonna try and see what he could do about getting it fixed up a little. So my goal is maybe heat this up a little, because I don't know if, I'm assuming it's glued, but I'm gonna try and heat this up a little bit, and then take it off and see what I can't do with all this. It's old brass, and you could polish brass, but I might do something different. I might give it a stamped steel look. I don't know. He said go ahead, have fun with it. I hate this thing, but if it's for his daughter, there's a pretty good shot that that's something that she really liked about it, was this colorful little glass thing, this little handle. But the whole thing is pretty rough. It's not going to get sharpened because it is a wall hanger, and if it is for his kid, obviously it's not going to be used, especially with a stick tang like this. But next thing's next is try and disassemble. So James Blaylock, man, you gave me some work to do, boy. I'm going to see what I can do. Day one. All right, so I've been keeping myself a little busy. I haven't got on the Supermans right now, the Clark Kents. So I started with this guy. Took off all that crap that was on there, most of it anyway. I still have some little scrubby duds left. I was able to remove that. It's got some kind of paper inner. So I need to fix this, do whatever I'm going to do with it. This was 2 pieces. So I had to take it off and take it apart and figure out what the hell I'm going to do with that. It's all bent up and just kind of burly. So I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do with this. I have no idea yet. But at least I got the beginning stages on the scabbard. So this guy I threw an edge on, right? And this isn't one of those like complete paper cutting edges because I don't want it to chip on them, but this is going to be a cutting edge. This is going to be a take off an arm edge. That's exactly what I wanted out of it. So you could see it right there. And you look at the finish on this blade, it's got a bunch of rubbed out spots like you see right here. Like, I don't know if this was painted, if it was whatever they had for coating on this blade wasn't good enough. So I'm trying to fix that up a little bit. And you can see this side's already just a bit darker. So I'm trying to get through some of these shinier patches right here and just make it like a like that, just a complete dark sword rather than a dirty looking sword. And when I say dirty looking, that's first pass right there. So I gotta continue. All right, so we have it apart. Everything on here is disassembled. Now the parts aren't very good. This tang is horrendous, and it's really small. But then you have the blade. That's just, it's got more scratches now that I can see it. And if I try to buff out the scratches, you take away all the pattern that's on there, and I don't want to do that. The sheath, the scabbard, is like a balsa wood. You could see that line right there. It's kind of like a seam, a crack all the way through there. They did two pieces, one kind of flat piece and then one piece they cut out, and there's a paper actually stuck in there too at the tip. It's kind of weak, but it's decorative, so it'll do the job. Now, of all the pieces, this one right here is all kinds of jacked up. It looks like somebody hit it with a hammer. Not too sure why. The inside of there is a little beat up. This one, it wasn't done very well. They have all these little ridges right here, except right here they stop. I don't know why, but that's that. Then you got your little screw cap that looks like it was tried to tighten before with like a pair of pliers or something. Then this would be your brace between here and there. And this part is this is your handle. This is your entire handle of the sword. And it's got a little jagged piece right here that looks like there was an attempt to fix something before and it probably just broke. Not sure. This piece is in really good condition. This is probably the only piece in really good condition. It's not so bad. This piece, look at the cave-in right there. It's like, man, I got to try and figure out this dent right here, this cave-in right there. There's little dents all over it. I have to try and figure out if these are going to be salvageable, because if you try and pull it out and then hammer it, because it's an oval, there's no way to get inside. This one's not as bad. So if worst comes to worst, I will put this piece back on, even though the lanyard hole right there for the carry attachment is all dented up. I don't really think that matters. And then this thing's just, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if there was an extra piece on there, if it came like that. I have no idea, but it was squished right here somehow. That's gonna be, I can't unsquish that. That's just the way it is. But what I might be able to do is take off some of this sharp, nasty burr. So out of all the pieces, this one might not be going back on. We'll soon find out. And then I have to try and figure out everything else. Right now, I have to sand this sheath. And I can't use anything electric because it's so thin, so I'm gonna have to hand sand everything and see where I'm at. All right, so I'm working on this sheath. I'm using a rubber paint to give it a texture, and then I'm going to clear over it. You can see how this seam runs all the way down. There's a big crack right here that ran all the way through. I thought that was part of the design, that little missing piece, but it's actually a broken piece that's broken off, just like the end here. The whole thing was just broken off, but luckily that'll hide behind the adornments, and that should look pretty good. But once I throw some clear on here, and this has to dry first, the rubber, it should go pretty good. And the good thing with the rubber is it should hold it together a little better than just paint or something like that, because it's just it's sticky and stretchy. So that should work out pretty good. But so far the sheath is coming out pretty good for what it's going to be, man. It's coming out pretty good. All right, so I got to another point. I got the sheath over there. I started sanding this down, and I took off that nasty boo-boo maker on the end, and I wanted to make it like a hand hammered type look. And I have no idea, I can't tell if this is showing it off any. I just sprayed it with some clear after sanding it, and it's got all these little dents and stuff, and I thought those looked amazing. And it really gave off this rustic, really cool antique-y vibe, but it's a lot shinier than it was. And spraying the clear on it, I think this might be a winner. I might have to do the rest of the brass just like this, filing off that edge and making it perfectly round. Really did it some justice. That's helping out. But I think these are going to look really cool with that new old look, you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be pretty sweet. All right, so while all that stuff is drying, I gave the blade a polish, and I'm hoping, and again I can't see because of the glare, I'm hoping some of this pulls up. Right there it says made in India. I think that's pulling up, and you can see there's a bit more gloss to this blade here. There's some words written in Hindi there, and goes all the way through. So I'm going to leave the blade like this, just shiny, and it does look a lot shinier than it did when it got here. But this is going to be the blade. I want to keep what's written on it, and so we're not going to destroy any of that. And in the sun, it actually doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad for a wall hanger. I think this thing's going to be all right looking. As far as the parts, here's the handguard over here drying. I love this this hand hammered look. You can see the sheath already over there just sticking up out of the wood. But let's see if we can get some good light on this stuff. We can try anyway. These things are coming out beautiful. They're just beautiful. I got some of the small parts down there. Now I have to figure out a way to tighten it. That's going to be the hard part, just tightening it, because it was already torqued down as far as it could go. So what I think I might do is on the underside of one of these pieces, I might try a lock washer. But so far it's coming out pretty good, and I have another idea, something to do on the sheath that I might work out, but we'll see how it goes. We're almost there. All right, so we're at that point where it's starting to look pretty nice indeed. I did a little leather wrap there in the center, and the top was so broken. This is just a wall hanger, so I'm not really worried about it. I threw some red electrical tape because I got done with it and it just wasn't holding up very good. But from a distance, you're not going to notice, and for just a wall hanger, it's going to be okay. But look at this. Now I'm trying to hold this because it's drying in my hand, but man, that little leather wrap right there, that looks actually really cool. I just sprayed that with some clear, so it's going to have that nice shiny look, you know what I mean, right over there. See if I can't get a little close up. I don't know if that's coming in because of the glare, but it looks good to me. So that is the sheath. I put together the handle over here, and that's on really tight. There's a black nut way under there, but that'll be all right too, because it's going to hide underneath that little umbrella. But so far this little project is coming together. Not so bad. Not so bad. All right, so it looks like we're pretty good on this. It's pretty much dried. It's almost there. I just added a little coat of clear, and all that's good. Hopefully it doesn't get all grubby looking from going in the sheath. I hope it doesn't. So if you get it back to you and it's all grubby, it might be from the inside of the sheath, because right now you can see what it looks like, and the only change that's going to happen from here is it's going to go in there. I might, who knows, maybe I'll throw some saran wrap around the blade just for that, but it's all done. Let me see if it's dry enough to actually get in there. All right. There we go. Not so bad right there. This look right here kills me, man. That looks just awesome like that. So then we have the other one. All I really had to do was put on an edge. I did darken up the bolsters just a little bit. Gave it kind of a worn look though. And then gave it a slightly better edge, and it came with the edge. You know, he said it needed a new edge. His edge wasn't that bad. I think it was better off than he probably thought it was. But now it's just a little bit better. I do like the bolsters in the back being dark, and then kind of put some dark on there and then scraped a little bit off, because it fades into this dark right here. So I wanted it to go from very dark to fade. So I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe we'll have to slice through something with this thing. All right, so we got a water bottle. Now I left my tripod inside. We just got to figure a way to set it up. So now, you don't, if you plan on hitting anything hard, you really don't want a razor sharp edge. So, but you do want a bottle cutting edge. It's got to be able to handle that. I'm trying to get a stick in here. There we go. There we go. I think we're in there. So let's make sure this thing has a bottle cutting edge. Get you guys a good shot. And I would have to say that complies with a bottle cutting edge. That is as smooth as a cut can be right there. Whew. Dog, and I washed the trash can. All right, so that's not bad. The edge, well, the edge works. I like that so far. Hold on. All right, my brother, your pieces are done. Now, if you expect it to look like a professional did it, you're out of luck, because I did it instead. But I have to say, I'm really, really loving that. I think this came out amazing. And obviously that, I mean, if I get in there, you could see the nut, but who's going to get in there? Who's going to get in there when it's sitting on a wall like that? And it's not rattling, so that's good. This one will give you the kind of sharpness that could take down a tree without chipping an edge. And it's going to look good doing it. You notice that there's a little shine on your wrap now. So it's all good, man. It's all good in the hood. So that's it for this one. Not so bad. Not so bad. It's sometimes you could just take the simplest steps to make something very cool happen, and that's what happened this time. That's it for me. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.